Welcome to the Karen Kenney Show.
Hey, you guys, welcome to the Karen Kenney Show. I'm super duper excited. I'm mostly excited because number one, I'm talking to you. So, hi, hi. Thank you so much for being here. But also, you guys, can you see, like, you can't really see, but maybe you can see a little bit of the sun in the background. It is such a wicked nice day out here, and I'm going to go for a little run walk in a minute. So, I'm jazzed about that. But before I get out there, get all sweaty, I was like, okay, I'm just going to like share something that happened to me. So, and it's going to apply to you as well. Okay. So hopefully it's helpful. All right. Fingers crossed, everybody. Let's just cross our fingers that this is helpful. So you know that we call it like the liminal space. It's kind of like the in-between space. You know that space right before like you're still kind of like half asleep and you're just waking up, or it's the middle of the night and you wake up for a second, or that time at night as you're falling asleep as you're going to bed, right? There's kind of this place we talk about where for me, it's when the subconscious is like really, really like open for business and available and is sometimes just kind of whispering secrets or saying things, right? So I keep a little mini notebook, spiral notebook, and a pen next to my bed at all times, right? Because I know inevitably I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night, or it's like first thing in the morning, or as I'm going to sleep, and an idea, a thought, an inspiration. The muse is like flying overhead and dropping something. And I always used to say to myself, oh, I'll remember that. And then the next morning, like, it's like the tail end of it. Like I can't even like I couldn't quite grab it and bring it back into my mind. So I'm like, screw that. So now I keep a little spiral notebook and a pen right next to my bed so I can jot things down as they occur to me. So look at that. I'm just going to hold it up and show it to you. This is this random little piece of paper, right? It's like the writing is like, so these down here I wrote this morning, but for those of you who are listening, it's a small little rectangular piece of paper and it's got writing on it and it's like really messy and it makes no sense. You know why? It's because I wrote it at like 4:30 or 3:30, whatever time it was when I got up to pee. And so all of a sudden, this word pops into my head. And I know why this word popped into my head. It's because I had been thinking before going to bed that I maybe needed a little bit of an attitude adjustment. Okay, guys, you know how there are just days when you feel like everything, every little thing is annoying you. We've talked before about how our brains have what we call a negativity bias, right? It's always looking for the negative stuff. It's always looking, and it's not just looking so it can find things to bitch and moan about and whine about and complain. It's not that. It's often looking for things in your environment to keep you safe, right? To make sure. It's always like danger, Will Robinson, but it's really, really easy to kind of get in this loop of like negativity or nitpicking and just tearing down everything. So the other day, and you guys know me. You've been around the block long enough. I mean, if you're new here, hello, thank you. I'm so happy you're here. But those of you who have been here for like 6, 7 years, like like I tend to be a pretty positive person. I am able to find the silver lining in most things, and I do, and I look for the good, right? I look for the good, the beautiful, and the holy. But every once in a while, I'll be having a day and I'll catch myself and I'll be like, Jesus, you're just like really kind of critical on things. Like what is going on? And usually it's because if I'm out of balance, if I'm tired, if I feel like have been forced to do a bunch of things that really I don't want to do, like, and whatever that is, right? No, I'm an adult. Nobody like makes me, but sometimes you got to do things because you got to hold on, like make money or blah, 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 whatever it is. So I just found myself being a little cranky or a little whiny or whatever it was, but I didn't really like where my mind had been. And I was like, you need like a little attitude adjustment, Missy. And I was like talking to myself. And then I go to bed. So in the middle of the night, I woke up and all of a sudden this word pops into my head. And this is the word. The phrase is gratitude salad. I was like, oh my God. I was like, gratitude salad. I'm like, what the fuck what does my brain mean by gratitude salad? And I started to think like I love how the little librarians up in my brain, right? I could think of my subconscious mind as like or my head, like my brain and my mind as being like a library. And I have these little librarians up there, right? And they're to the Dewey Decimal System, and they're always like pulling, they're like pulling out their little card rack of like the card catalog of like memories and thoughts and stories and meaning I've assigned to things and habits and patterns and all my bullshit, all my stuff, my fears, my anxieties, right? It's all up there. And they'll just like pull it forward, they'll like drop some stuff down. So I'm like, oh my God, gratitude salad. And I started laughing because I just had a salad like for dinner, right? As part of my dinner. And this is what, stay with me because I'm gonna make this make sense for you. Like, why do you give a shit about the gratitude salad? Because this is what I started to think about. So many people are told, right? If you're suffering, if you're upset, if you're not happy, blah, 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 blah. They're often the prescription they get is to have a gratitude practice. Look, gratitude practice is awesome. It's fantastic. It can be so helpful. But what happens with like any other thing that we do, if you tend to do it daily or all the time or once a day or start your day that way, blah, blah, blah. So many people at some point just start to go through the motions, right? They'll be like, yeah, I'm grateful for this, and they'll write a couple of things down, but they're doing it from their head, right? They're not really feeling the gratitude. They're not really doing it. They're doing it more like rote, right? Like rote, like regular old whatever, rather than more like a ritual or whatever. And so I started to think about like this gratitude salad. And it's like when I make a salad, I don't know about you guys, but I'm wicked picky when it comes to like the textures in my bowl, the colors in my bowl, like how things look. Now, don't get me wrong. I can eat a very basic, iceberg lettuce salad if I had to. Hello, as a vegan, I've had to eat many, not so fantastic salads. But and my salads aren't wicked fancy, right? So if I make a salad, let me tell you what I mean. So if I make a salad, right, I always want some sort of like greens, right? It can be like mixed greens or whatever. And then I always like to add in some crunchy romaine lettuce, right? And I dice it up and I like it really, I don't like the ends that are like green and wilty. Like I really like the crunchy bits, you know what I mean? So I always have like a good crunchy base for my salad. And then I throw in like matchsticks, carrots, chopped up celery. Like I said, it's not super fancy, but, and then I take little tomatoes and I dice them up, and then I put on some sunflower seeds, right? And then maybe some really yummy vegan croutons if I have them. And then, of course, a dressing. Okay. So there's these elements to this salad. So when I started thinking about the gratitude salad that my subconscious delivered to me as a solution to my fucking bad attitude, I was like, okay, my salads have these different textures, these different flavors, these different colors, right? And I really think about it when I'm making it. I don't just throw it into the bowl, right? Like I break up the lettuce, I chop it to the right size. Everything is just like made with thoughtfulness and with care. And especially if I'm making one for my sweetie too, because he makes his slightly different. Okay, here's what I'm saying. So it's so easy to just do like, I'm going to write down three things that I'm grateful for. And I'm like, but are you really feeling grateful? Are you really putting a variety of things in there? And I was like, okay, well, if I was going to say to my students or one of my clients, my yoga students or one of my clients, or if I was giving a prompt to like some of my writers for a write club or whatever, I would say to them, okay, here's some elements that I want you to think about. So as a practice, I'm just throwing this out there in case you find it helpful because I have found this really helpful, right? Well, since I've started doing this, since I had the thought of garden of gratitude salad instead of garden salad, instead of the regular old garden variety, right? A gratitude salad has different elements. So here's some ideas for you. So this is how I've been kind of keeping it fresh when I find myself, right, getting a little whiny or just a little ungrateful. You know, when you can just start to take people or things for granted, or you start to like, I don't know, just not appreciate people, place, things like even the basics, like your health, your wealth, your whatever. We can be rich in lots of different ways. So I started doing this. Okay. So each day, right, I'm going to try to think of a person I'm grateful for, an animal that I'm grateful for. Now I'll just throw some other things, right? It could be a place you're grateful for, some place you visited, some place you grew up, some place that has the best vegan waffles, like whatever it is, right? A thing that you're grateful for. Now, a lot of times we're told that we shouldn't love things, just love people, love animals. And I agree with that. But there are certain things that might hold something really valuable to you, There might be some sentiment to it, right? Which leads us to the next thing, which is a feeling. So when you do your gratitude practice, see when you're thinking of this person, if you can, now not everybody can visualize in their mind, but for those of you who can imagine, who can see, right? Who can, like has visual ability in their brain, try to really see that person. And don't just see them like as a still shot. See if you can see them as a movie. See if you can see them as a movie in color. Maybe it's like their laugh, or there was something about them that you loved when they would do a particular quirky thing, right? Try to really see them. I'm already picturing somebody in my head right now. And you can see if you're watching this, you see my face, I'm just smiling. My eyes just lit up because it was like, oh, when I closed my eyes, I started the movie in my head and I saw this person. I saw them in color and then I saw them up close. I brought them up close rather than in the distance, right? And when we do that in our brain and we see this person in color as a movie in motion up close, right? We can actually start to like generate some biochemical, like a physiological response, right? And then take a moment to envision that person. And I always say, if there's somebody in your life that you're grateful for, and they're still alive, they're still with us, let them know. Send up a flare, write them a handwritten note, snail mail, like go old school, like, right? And obviously, if you can't afford, I'm not being fresh. If you can't afford a stamp and you don't have time to like get to the post office or whatever, at the very least, like call them up or shoot them a text, whatever you got to do. But let them know that you're grateful for them and why. Go the extra distance. Be specific. Give specific feedback, right? Maybe it's an animal that's alive, was a beloved pet that's no longer with you, a furry kid, right? Or maybe it's just an animal out in the wild. Maybe you're lucky enough to have like a porcupine that lives in your yard, or a groundhog, or something special. There's a particular bird that visits that you love, right? And really, again, take a moment and let your heart actually feel the feeling of that gratitude, right? Maybe it's a place, maybe it's some place, the place you got married, the place you fell in love, the place where your child was born, the place where you got your first book deal, the place where you discovered, oh, I'm a musician, or you had the epiphany, right? Like, oh, I'm gay, I'm this, I'm that, whatever the thing is, right? Some place that holds meaning for you. Maybe it's a cemetery, or whatever, your old school, right? Where that one teacher who just really saw you and got you and loved you, whatever it is, right? And then think of a thing, right? I can just show you right now. I'll hold up this little fox that I have, right? My little fox that my sweetie got me, right? She came all the way from Ireland. And I love my little fox with his little green scarf, right? And he sits on my desk. And I'm so grateful for this, because when I see this, I not only think of my sweetie and his love for me, and he knew that I really wanted this little fox, but also the artist that made it. And I just so appreciate the reminder of people's creativity. So like a thing. And then you could also be grateful for a feeling. Right? Maybe there's a feeling that you love to have, right? When you have it, you're just like, oh my God, right? So do all of this with feeling. So when you're building your gratitude salad, right? It's like maybe the person is like the lettuce, right? You know what I mean? It's like that's the bulk of it, is the humans in your life. And then, maybe the carrots are the critters, it's like the animals, like whatever. But when you're building your gratitude salad, like sprinkle some interesting shit in there, like some stuff that maybe you hadn't thought of being grateful for, looking at it from a different perspective. One of the things that I'm also grateful for sometimes is really good stories, right? I'm like, oh my God. It's one of the things I love the most about Write Club. So if you've been listening and paying attention, right? So I'm a certified gateless writing instructor. I've been doing writing workshops since 2004. In 2014, I got certified as a gateless writing instructor. And so I do these writing workshops. I've taught week-long workshops at the Omega Institute. I've done them locally. I've done them online. I've been doing this for a wicked long time, right? I just did one in the fall for the International Women's Writing Guild online. But locally, I'm going to be doing them once a month in person. I'm holding up my friend's card. It's the 11th Letter Writing Gallery at 146 North Main Street in Concord. My friend Jocelyn Wynn owns the writing gallery, and I'm going to be holding them there. And our first one is this Saturday, May 30th from 1 to 4 p.m. And if you want to join us for that, you guys, if you're a local writer or somebody who would drive from Mass, Vermont, Maine, whatever, just go to karenkenny.com/write club, one word, and all the info is right there. Okay, so one of my favorite things about Write Club is after we do like the embodied meditation, we do the prompt, we write, everybody gets a chance to read. And then they get a chance to receive only loving, positive, uplifting feedback, right? They get feedback about where their work is strong and where the power is and where their genius lives, their creativity. It's like such a powerful and positive way to write in a group. But one of my favorite things is getting to listen to people read their work, to read the stories that have been inside of them now coming out, hearing their voice and hearing stories. So when I was thinking about my gratitude salad, I was like, oh man, what's a story that I'm grateful for lately? And some of you may know that Stephen Colbert, the amazing Stephen Colbert, has been taken off the air. His show ended. But before that, I was watching something, and his wife, they asked his wife or something about Stephen that she loved. And she says, when I met Stephen, he was around, I think that she said like 27 or something like that. And she's like, he was only 27, but he already had crow's feet. He already had crow's lines and crow's feet around like his face and mouth by 27 because from laughing and smiling so much already in his life. Now, if you know Stephen Colbert's story, you know it's also marked by tragedy and deep loss, you know. But the fact that she said by 27, one of the things she fell in love with him for is that he already had crow's feet at 27 from laughing and smiling so much. That story has stayed with me, and I think about it. I think about it throughout the day, and I think about him smiling, and I think about his genuineness, and I think about his character and what we've gotten to know. I mean, of course, I've never met the man in person, but what I've seen of him over the years. And I love that story that she fell in love with the fact that he already had wrinkles because he had laughed and smiled so much. And I just thought, oh man, right? To have that kind of essence and energy that somebody would fall in love with you because you walk around with so much joy and so much life and so many stories, right, within you. I just thought it was so cool. And so I just wanted to share with you guys because look, it's so easy right now. It's so easy right now out there with the world being such a fucking crazy shit show. It's easy to just get focusing on all the things that aren't working, all the things that are going wrong. And look, those things do need our attention. This isn't about, oh, gratitude. And then we just like put our head in the sand and we don't do the work that needs to be done. I'm not saying that. But we also won't get there if we're always exhausted, if we're always miserable, if we're always feeling hopeless and helpless, right? Change is not going to come if we have no energy, right, to enact the change, to become the change, to be in the world is change, to help change happen by the way we vote, by the people we put in office, like all those things. We do need some energy, some joy, some mojo, you know what I mean? And so I do think that just having a regular old gratitude practice is fantastic and it's amazing. But sometimes we need to like, you know, we need to shake it up a little bit. We need to shake the salad. We need to make a little gratitude salad. Sprinkle in some things that maybe normally wouldn't occur to you, right? So we often think of like a people or I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for my health. Yes, but let's get more specific. Let's get more curious, right? Like right now as I'm talking to you, I can hear the call because I live in the woods. I can hear the call of like all these different birds right now. And I just think like, oh my God, that's so cool, right? And there's people that I follow online who are incredible photographers of wildlife. And there's one guy named Marty Woodward. And Marty is known really for his work as like marketing and helping people grow their business. But on the side, he photographs birds. And he just told this incredible story about how he drove 800 miles to try to find this one bird. And when he went to take the picture of the bird, he hit the video button instead. So we didn't capture what he calls the shot. but he captured this amazing video of this multicolored, beautiful, gorgeous bird, and he shared it with us. And I just thought, I'm so grateful for Marty for sharing that, you know? So this is what I'm saying, you guys. There's so much to look around and be discouraged by and be disappointed by and be scared of, right? There's so much horror and brutality and violence and unfairness and racism and, sex trafficking and child abuse. I mean, look at humans have been doing horrendous, awful things for thousands of years, but there have also been people out there doing amazing things. And if we let our brain and this negativity bias like take over, we're in big trouble. So we need the little librarians in our head to sprinkle in like some goodies into our gratitude salad once in a while. So that's all I wanted to share with you. I'm going to go out for my run now, but while it was fresh on my mind, I was like, I don't know, maybe other people want to make a little gratitude salad of their own, and they need that little reminder, to take a look around at the world, take a look around at the immediate world, and then like span out, right? Like zoom out and really take a good gander. Take a look around. There's some incredible people out there. There's some incredible humans doing really powerful and beautiful things in the world. Very talented things, writing incredible stories and books and making music and artwork and loving each other and serving their communities and serving their neighbors, and they're getting out there and they're activists and whatever. There's some incredible, gorgeous animals. I mean, Mother Nature is just wild. Like if you just spend a little time like looking around at certain even leaves, like sometimes you just look at a leaf and you think, oh my God, like how does nature know how to do this and create these things? It's so incredible. And there have been places and things that we have been gifted, and it's so easy to just walk by things every day and you kind of stop seeing them. And this happens in marriages, it happens in relationships and partnerships, it happens with your pets, and things just start to get blurry. So I want to say, like, lean in real close to your life. Look at these things, feel these feelings, think about stories and memories, and really let yourself feel the full depth of them. Let your heart just light up. And man, dive into that delicious gratitude salad. And if you make a gratitude salad, I would love to hear about it. Seriously, send up a flare, write to me, send me a message or a note, go to my website, my contact page, send me a little something. I would love to hear what's in your gratitude salad for today. You guys are the topping. You guys are the sprinkles on my gratitude salad today. So thank you every week. Thank you every week for tuning in. For new listeners, I know I have some new listeners, Jocelyn and David. I'm very excited about that. And every once in a while, I hear from somebody who said, hey, I listened to your show, and I'm always blown away. I'm like, you do? So it really does mean a lot to me. So thank you for spending some time with me. I hope you have a fantastic day. And like I said, if you're interested in Write Club or joining the Nest or anything I do, you can find out everything on KarenKenney.com. And if you want whatever's happening, new things that I'm creating, workshops and stuff like that, the best way is to get on my mailing list, right? I usually send out one newsletter a week. Sometimes you'll hear from me twice if I'm letting you know about a class or a workshop or something wicked fun that's happening. And you just go to KarenKenney.com/sign up. That's how you get on that sucker. And I would love to have you join us. So thank you for being a part of my podcast community. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And like I said, I hope you make a little gratitude salad today. Okay, wherever you go, may you leave yourself and the animals and the people and the places and the environment better than how you found it. Wherever you go, may you and your energy, your presence, your love, and your attitude of gratitude, your little gratitude salad be a blessing. Bye.